Greetings and welcome, family, to Magnets, Crystals, Pyramids. We're going to have fun tonight. Featured guest tonight is Dr. Love, and he's going to be joining us shortly. I want to thank everybody for being alive. So let's start up off, our invocation to invite our ascended master ancestors so we can have fun tonight. All right? Bear with me. Let me see. I'm just let's fire it up.
Call to the warrior in you, to the healer in you, the king, the queen, the magician, the lover in you. Every single day, we are called to walk in our purpose. Answer the call. Lay down your burden and anything that holds you back and take your rightful place. The battle is everywhere. It's right in your face. Let's go.
Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Magnets, crystals, pyramids.
Welcome to Magnets, Crystals, and Pyramids. Yeah, I like that. Come down with the thunder. All right, so I am in me, I am in you. The listening audience now and in the future, I want to thank everybody in the audience already. Thank you for being born. Thank you for being alive. Thank you for your countless incarnations that you may remember or you may be working on remembering. And in the spirit of Ubuntu, we are collectively and individually forgiving everybody in our past lives. And we ask everybody to forgive us, forgive me. Most of all, we forgive ourselves as spheres of eternal energy. I'm going to tell you, family, I don't know what's happening in the celestial realms, but it really feels like the supernatural frequencies that's going to activate us into our divine memory more than our humanity memory is being turned up like a gentle dial. All right, children, let's see if you remember how much divine you really are. I could feel it. If y'all could feel some kind of change happening, put it in the comments. If wherever you're listening from, put it in the comments, because there's something magical happening right now that reminds us that we are more than our carbon-based skin suit. There's something that's activating celestially. Maybe it's some kind of solar radiation, or maybe our spaceship, planet Earth, is going into a quadrant with the solar system into a place where supernatural abilities of divine nature is being activated, because times don't feel the same. And if you feeling some shift happening, share it with us in the comments, because while I'm sitting here and I just close my eyes, I can feel like there's something more that's happening on the planet other than the madness and the distraction of conflicts on a global level and media trying to deflect our attention to outside fear-based mongering instead of allowing an aligned divine activation to open our minds and super radiate our heart space. So there's something magical happening in the universe, in the times that we're in. And I want all of us to celebrate, elevate, transmutate together. And that's what I want to just bring out on this platform more than ever before, is how we can energetically, frequency, help each other elevate. Like, I had a beautiful goddess call me earlier today saying, she was facing some financial challenges. And I said, listen, invoke and know you're worthy. Nuk pu nuk, Atlantean ancient Kemetic Egyptian word, nuk pu nuk. I am that I am. I am worthy of abundance. I am worthy of abundance. Yes, I am. And I just got a text just before the show. She was like, pow, breakthrough. I was like, yeah. Congratulations, and congratulations to you, my brothers and sisters, because we are the miracle. Nobody's coming down to save us like in the old-fashioned movie. Save me, save. No, it ain't happening. We got to save ourselves. We're in that pre-K planet, a beautiful young planet that's about 20 years old on a planetary level, that's only going to tolerate pre-K souls on the planet acting a fool for a little while before Earth changes happen. And they're going to happen quick. The agitators will become eliminated. And that's a fact, Jack. So I want to thank and invite our brother, Ascended Master. We're going to bring on Dr. Love shortly. We're going to bring Ascended Masters forth, Yeshua. Some of y'all might call him Jesus, but his name is really Yeshua, because there was no J back when he was letting his hair fly throughout the earth. Mary Magdalene, we thank and invite. Saint Germain, our brother, we thank and invite you to be on the show with us tonight. Latest Christ born in the Congo, Simeon Toko. Ascended Master from Senegal, Sheikh Amadou Bamba. We got to give a special acknowledgement to Black Madonna, Mother Mary. All right, because we were in Goddess Herstory Month. All right. Let's call it again. Goddess Her Story Month. So we thank and invite Black Madonna, Mother Mary. We thank and invite Lady Buddha, the goddesses of antiquity. In Rome, she has, goddesses. Listen, y'all. Our sisters are goddesses. Some sleeping, some snoring. Some got one eye open, some rubbing their eyes. Goddesses, nevertheless. Some were goddesses with amnesia. And you could tell by the way they, move, shuffle their feet through the life. But goddesses, nevertheless. So the goddess of love on a Thursday, we call her Aphrodite. We call her Diana. We call her Venus. And in ancient Atlantean Kemetic, we call her Heteru. And Mother Goddess are Set. Now, these are forces of nature. Remember, you are gods, my brothers and sisters. And you got to reverse hack. We got to biohack that miseducation of external worship. Oh, looking for the Lord outside of me. Looking for the gods outside of me. I'm not worthy. I can't see. That time is over. So we got to realize, as the movie Bruce Leroy and Master Shono said, who's the master? And he was whooping his butt until Bruce Leroy said, I am. So moving right along, we thank and invite Archangel of Protection, Archangel Michael. We thank you and invite. Okay, family. I just got kicked off while invoking Archangel Michael. So without further ado, let's bring on Dr. Love. Yeah, let's bring him on. We want to thank and invite all the Ascended Masters, angels, Archangel Mike, archangels, forces of nature that live inside of us. Ilegba, Oshun, Yemaya, Oya, Olokun, Shango, Ogun, Obatala, Orumila, Ochosi, And we thank and invite ascended masters from Dogon star system, Palladian star system, Andromeda galaxy, so that we may have a planetary coup of awareness. We are decreeing as sons and daughters, sun gods and goddesses, we are decreeing between the palms of our hands a golden coup of enlightenment upon all humanity with the momentum of ascended masters from existence, star systems. We say, yes, I am magic presence, having a golden coup of enlightenment upon every man, woman, child. So let it be spoken, so let it be done. Let me bring on Dr. Love. Doc, where are you, Doc? There he is. Okay. Wow, he got a. Hey, Doc, you front and center, bro. Hold on. Can't hear you. Nope, can't hear you. We got to hear you. Okay, so listen. Also, while we're waiting, family, we're going to have we're going to start having Quantum Tuesdays turned up, so that while we can accelerate and benefit from this galactic activation that some of us might be feeling already, we're going to help each other, assist each other to become supernatural. Yeah, George, I think you're right now. So let me see who's in the chats, the comments. We thank Steve from Jersey. I want to thank you, Teresa, peace family. I want to thank peace and love, Baba Ankh Raz and son, and to my grandmaster of. Oh, Dr. Shaka Zulu. Yo, Doc, we got to do a show. You got so many gifts, man. That family, listen, Dr. Shaka Zulu got that drink that men need more so that we can rise like the sun. And sisters, you can be healed and stay youthful and have more fun. All right. Okay. Teresa Stewart, all the way from North Carolina. All right, Doc, we ready for you, man. Can you hear me? We can't hear you yet. No sound. We have no sound yet. Okay. Doc is adjusting his sound. He got a new setup, so he's doing his getting past his technical stuff. Oh, getting back to it.
Okay, how's that?
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Oh, family, I am honored to have our esteemed brother. Yeah, boy. That's it.
There we go. Okay, family. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Brother Hunk, Rising Sun Ra.
Well, I don't know about all that. You know what I feel like? More like Dr. Doc. I feel more like Uncle Hanky.
Okay. There's the way you feel, and there's the way I feel about you.
Okay. All right.
So
this is hot, man. Do your thing. I'm falling back.
This is a pyramid, but my daughter brought me this granite from Cairo.
Ooh.
So this came all the way from Cairo.
Yo, can you take it, bring it up closer? Oh, look at that, family. Granite from Cairo. That might come from one of the ancient, maybe it came from one of the ancient stone figures and stuff.
Right. And she brought me this as well.
Oh, blessed be.
So I'm pleased.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Doc, just one thing, because I want you to flow, because I know you got plenty to share with all you know. I'll just be putting up people's comments, giving you accolades and appreciation like they've been doing so far. Go ahead, Doc. You got the mic.
Okay, family. Hank asked me to talk about humming and nitric oxide, and I shared with him that humming activates the internal endocrine glands. So he asked me, he said, can you come on the show and break that down? I said, absolutely. So I want to preface everything with, I was able to track ancient Egyptian medicine from the Persian invasion, taking it to India, from the Greek invasion, taking it to China, from the Roman invasion, taking it to Turkey and Afghanistan, and then eventually ending up in Tibet. And in the 9th century, Tibet held medical contests inviting everybody from the known world to come to Tibet to share their medical knowledge. And from all that, Tibet came up with something that they call the 4 treatises that we call Tibetan medicine, what I call the reincarnation of Kemetic medicine. And I've got all the science behind this. I've been doing this since 2011. I made my first PowerPoint in 2015. Through Netter Ankh and Shaka Zulu, I've lectured all over this country. So if you want me to come and do a 3-hour PowerPoint on how Kemetic medicine ended up in Tibet, which means we still have access to the ancient wisdom, just let me know. Okay?
Wow.
Now, that's
Wow.
my project.
That's amazing. That's amazing, Doc. That's amazing. I gotta come back and just tell you, that's amazing. Family, like, subscribe, share, and I'm going back screen and listen to you, brother, because I want to hear all this.
Okay. So I want to talk about how you have an endocrine system, which you already know about: the pituitary, the pineal, the thyroid, the thymus, the pancreas, the adrenals, and the gonads. Most of you who know anything at all about biology have heard of the endocrine system. Some of you know a little bit about yoga, and you've heard of the 7 chakras, not Sha, but chakras. And chakra means a wheel of light. Now, Western medicine didn't understand how the endocrine system actually worked until recently, as 2023, March of 2023, Western science came up with something called the interstitium. It's a brand new organ that they codified and laid out there. Now, what is the interstitium? It's the interstitial fluid, which is all the fluid in the body, plus connective tissue, which includes the bones, and the fascia, which we call the flesh, the fat, and the muscles. So all of that is one system. And we all know that our bodies are 75% water. And we all know that water carries sound, vibration, and frequency. And if you know anything about Tesla, he said the medicine of the future will be sound, vibration, and frequency. So your body is a healing machine. Now, here's the mind-blowing part of the whole thing. Imhotep, who was the architect of the first pyramid ever built, to the first king of the 3rd dynasty, discovered meridians. The same meridians that we use in acupuncture and Chinese medicine was codified, described in detail by Imhotep.
Wow.
Now, I have downloaded all of the medical papyri. So there's the Ebers papyrus, there's the Hearst papyrus, there's the Kahun papyrus, there's 6 medical papyri. And I have read multiple translations of each one because, of course, the Europeans think they know everything. So I have to cross-reference the translations to make sure they got it right. Now, the unfortunate thing is none of them knew anything about Chinese medicine. None of them understood what a meridian was. They were just trying to translate word for word. So there was no actual medical scientist translating the medical papyrus.
Wow.
This is mind-boggling to me. Now, when they translated it, it says that the meridian carries blood and air. Now, they immediately dismissed this, wrote them off. They're like, they don't know what they're talking about. There's no air in the body. The air doesn't flow in the body. But in the meridian system, the Chinese say the qi and the blood flow together. The qi moves the blood and the blood pumps the heart. Well, guess what? The blood does have air. It's called mitochondria. Mitochondria is responsible for cellular respiration in the bloodstream.
Wow.
So anybody who took high school biology or college biology knows about the Krebs cycle, or ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which converts carbohydrate into energy. And a byproduct of that is oxygen, and oxygen is the catalyst for tissue repair. So the very act of chewing and swallowing and digesting, and then the heart distributing the blood, distributes air.
Wow.
Now, how did Imhotep in the third dynasty, so we're talking 4650 BC, 4,650 years BC, when Europeans didn't discover that until 1680 AD. So 46 plus 16, that's over 5,000 years.
Wow.
So our ancestors knew about this 5,000 years before the Europeans.
Might even add some zeros to that, Doc.
It could be longer, but that's what we can document. So we stay with what we document.
Okay.
Okay. Now, this is a side note. So for all the DNA guys, say the Sudanese, the modern Sudanese, were the original Kemites. Sudan in Arabic means black.
Get out of here. Say it again. Say that again.
Sudan in Arabic means black. So the Sudanese were the original Kemites. Now, funny thing, again, DNA, they did modern Ethiopian DNA has a haplogroup which links to African Americans.
That don't, you know what? You hacking our brain, bro.
Because the modern Egyptian / Arabs say, I don't know why those African Americans are so connected to our culture. They weren't even there. But now they got the DNA to show African Americans are connected to Ethiopians.
Ooh, that's deep.
Whoa.
That's real.
So that's a whole side conversation. But I want to keep it to the fact that your body is a healing machine. Now, many, many years ago, when I was a student of Baba Patah, Baba Heru Ankara Samaj, we talked about the Ankh. And as his student, and I began to teach other people, everybody wanted to know the meaning of the Ankh. I also became a student of Dr. Wolde Kite from Guyana, who had the Temple of the White Lotus in South Central, and I went to study with him.
Yo, I got his book behind me. Walter Kite. Look, special acknowledgement to Kukau. I got Walter Kite's book right here.
Okay.
Go ahead, brother. Wow, this is deep.
This is deeper than deep. We're that's why I was so excited when you told me to come on the show, because we're tying all the loose ends together. Okay?
Yeah.
So the Ankh is not a meaning, it's a sound. It's not a meaning, it's a sound. So I want you to start with a halo. Who has a halo? Christian saints have halos. Buddhist saints have halos. What's a halo? It's an energy that comes around the head. Okay? Now, at the base of the skull, there is an artery. It's called the Circle of Willis. I wish I had the capability of pulling it up and showing it on screen, but you can do that on your. You can do it. Look up Circle of Willis. It looks like an Ankh.
Ooh,
and it's the flow of blood through the brain.
Ooh.
Now, if we put our thumbs on the base of the skull and our fingertips on the center line, and we make the sound ong, 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 we create a vibration which expands the energy field to make our own halo. That's the loop of the Ankh. There it is.
Yep.
That is the Ankh in your brain. That's the blood flow in your brain.
Wow.
And by you making the sound, you amplify that and you create an energy field that goes around your head. Now your shoulders are the crossbar, and your spine from the low lumbar area up to the breastbone, that's the centerpiece. So we got the crossbar, the centerpiece, and then we've got the loop of the Ankh. Now, this goes to the sound, okay? Now, we all know the ah sound. Ah, and we equate the ah sound to the heart, but it's actually the thymus. So the ah sound activates the thymus. Where's the thymus? The center of the breastbone. So if you put your finger at the top and the bottom, halfway between is the thymus gland. And when you make that ah sound, you're creating a vibration. Now, 2 fingers from your thymus is your heart, 2 fingers away. So if you're vibrating your breastbone and activating your thymus gland, you're also activating the heart. So that's the ah. Now the next sound is oh. Where is the O sound? It is the pancreas. What is the function of the pancreas? It regulates blood sugar. Well, why do we need our blood sugar regulated? Because everything you eat is converted to gasoline, which is the blood sugar. Where is the pancreas located? Right behind the stomach. So if you put your right thumb at the bottom of the breastbone, that is the exact size and location of your stomach. If we put the left hand behind that, that is the exact size and location of your pancreas. So
that is so cool.
So when you make the O sound, oh, ah, oh, ah, oh. So if you do that at home, what is the sound when you're at the concert? Oh, 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 eh, oh, eh, oh, oh, eh, oh, eh. You're resonating your heart and your blood sugar. Whoa. The next sound is ooh. It's the U sound. But there's two kidneys. There's two adrenal glands. The adrenals sit on top of the kidneys. So ah, oh, ooh. So what I want you to do is put your finger on the last rib, go around to the back, go up 2 vertebrae, and then slide out to the side. That is exactly where your adrenal glands. So I want you to go, ooh, ooh, and you will feel the muscle grab right where your thumbs are. Ooh, ooh. And now find the bottom of the breastbone. Oh, 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 ah, oh, ah. So these different muscles grab these points. Now, ah, oh, ooh. What's the next sound? You'll never guess. It's the E sound. So put your fingers on the side of your throat. E, E. And guess which endocrine gland is there? The thyroid. What does the thyroid do? It regulates the rate at which you burn calories. E-O, E-O. O regulates the blood sugar. The thymus, the pancreas regulates blood sugar, and the thyroid regulates the rate at which you burn blood sugar. E-O, 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 O-E-O. You are a healing machine. You have the ability to heal yourself with sound. Now, what comes after E is M, and M activates the pineal gland. And where is the pineal gland? At the top of the brain stem, in between the two halves of the brain. So if you put your 2 fingers at the base of the skull, elevate your head just a little bit and go M, M, M. You can activate your pineal with sound. And if you tap it, if you tap the base of the skull, you create a vibration on your brainstem that goes up to the pineal gland.
I'm doing that right now, man. Hold on a second. Like this. That feels good.
Tap it. It feels good.
That feels good.
So you tap it and make the M sound. You activate your pineal. Who knows this? Nobody knows this. Okay. Except the people in the Kemetic Qigong Academy. The Imhotep Global Academy is where I teach all this. And you want to get certified because the only protection we have against the geopolitical criminals is our own heart, mind connection and cultivating spiritual power. So we have the Imhotep Global Academy, Imhotep Global University that teaches all these things I'm telling you right now. Okay? Now, the last one, no, I'm sorry, we're not even.
Take your time, Doc. Take your time.
So the next one is the pituitary. The pituitary is in between the eyebrows, right behind the frontal bone. Now, everybody knows where the temples are. Why is it called the temple? Is it because the Holy Spirit resides in your temple? So if you use your thumbs to push on your temple, what are you activating? Cerebrospinal fluid, which is part of the interstitium, which distributes hormones from the pituitary to everywhere it needs to go into the body. So all of your hormones are manufactured in your pituitary and distributed through the interstitium, which is what they just discovered in March of 2023. This just blows me away. So now we're going to put our thumbs on our temple, and using our 3 fingers, we're going to pull apart the forehead, which is going to flood the pituitary with cerebrospinal fluid. Now, we've already tapped on the base of the skull to wake up the pineal. The pineal and the pituitary, when they connect, it sets off a spark, just like a lighter, okay? So you wake up the pineal, and then you flood the pituitary, and the pineal and the pituitary connect, which fires. Now, I'm going to go back for a minute. We started at 4, which was the thymus. Then we went to 3, which was the pancreas. Then we went to 2, to the adrenals. We didn't go to 1 because 1 is the anal sphincter. There's no endocrine gland in the anal sphincter. So we got 4, 3, 2. Then we got 5. Then we have 6, 4, 3, 2, 5, 6. And then 7 is the crown. So how do we get the crown? Well, we just said when the pineal and the pituitary connect. But what is the sound? It's A-U-N-G-H. Guh, guh. So in order to make the guh sound, the back of your tongue has to slide backward to open up the passageway for the spark of the pineal and the pituitary to go up through the crown. So ong, 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 ong. Now the roof of the mouth is curved. And when the tip of your tongue hits the roof of the mouth, you create a concave energy field. So ong, 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 ong. So we do that 12 times, take a breath, do 12 times more, take a breath, and we do that 7 times. 7 times 12 is 84. So we make the ong sound 84 times. This is how we claim our divinity every morning at sunrise. This is the Ankh activation.
This is powerful. I didn't know our heads vibrate so much when we talk. Family, you got to feel how your head vibrates. Tell us tell us about that, Doc. It's like every word I say vibrates the skull.
Exactly. So we have a wind pipe and we have a voice box. So the wind pipe is the trachea and the voice box is the larynx. Now you need a pump. What is the pump? It is called the diaphragm. So the diaphragm pushes the air out of the lungs so it vibrates up. Now, breathing in is involuntary. We don't have to think about breathing in, but we have to think about breathing out. Now, what happens when you breathe in? The lungs expand. What happens when the lungs expand? The blood that has been freshly oxygenated goes from the lungs into the heart. And then you breathe out and then the blood from the heart goes up to the carotid and down to the liver. So the blood from the heart goes in two different directions. So one direction goes up, down to the arms, the other goes to the carotid, which goes into the front and the back of the brain, and the other part of the aorta goes right to the liver on the right side, and the liver filters the blood and then sends it to the kidneys. You have two kidneys. So the blood out of the heart goes to the kidney, which is filtered, goes to the liver, which is filtered, then goes to the kidney, which is filtered, which then goes to the groin, to the femoral artery, which then opens all the blood into the legs. Now, I can teach this whole thing in less than 10 minutes, and I think everybody in middle school should have learned blood circulation and how the heart and lungs work together to circulate oxygen and nutrients.
Doc, question.
Yes.
How long does it take a blood cell to travel through the whole body?
It takes about 14 and a half minutes.
Because I keep hearing different schools saying different amount of time.
Okay, so what timelines have you heard?
Or anything over like a minute, like snake bite. If you get like a black mamba, you ain't got long, Jack, because depending on how fast you pump your heart, you're already dead meat in minutes.
Okay,
so it's like different schools.
Let me break this down.
Yeah.
I said they discovered a new organ called the interstitium, which is all of the fluid. When you get a neurotoxin, it doesn't go through the blood.
Wow.
That's why you can die in minutes. You asked me specifically about a red blood cell.
Yeah.
That's why I said 14 and a half minutes.
Yeah, that's about how long you got left, Jack.
But there's different toxins there's different toxins that take different pathways through the interstitium. So you have things that'll take longer and you have things that'll take lesser. All right? You only asked me about a red blood cell.
Yeah, because relationships, Jack, that could be like toxin going through your blood cells. Yo, Doc, you're getting me excited. Tell us what happens when you get stressed.
Oh, that's a whole other story. Okay, so we know that stress causes muscular tension. So when the muscles tense up, what happens to the blood flow? It's restricted. And when the blood flow is restricted over time, what happens to the nutrients that are supposed to go to the nerve endings?
Choked up, Jack.
They get choked up. And then the nerve endings start complaining. And that's what you register as pain. When it gets to the point of pain, it's already too late.
Wow.
The snake bit you already. And you couldn't find your way to the hospital.
Yo,
so when you
make me think of Black Widows biting you too.
it's already, when you feel the pain, it's already too late. So
Wow.
Here's the process. Spiritual is first. Emotional is second. Energetic is third. And physical is fourth.
Wow.
Now, technically, we're all spiritual beings, but we can pretend I'm not spiritual. I don't believe in that. And you can ignore your own spiritual connection. So perception Your perception is your reality. So if you perceive that you're not a spiritual being, then you can't access any of the spiritual gifts that you were born with. So
Deep. That's deep.
If there's an issue in your spiritual field that doesn't get resolved, then it drops down to your emotional field. Okay? Now, if we ask 10 people, what's the most negative emotion? Everybody's going to say anger. But what's behind anger is actually fear. And
Wow.
what's behind fear is actually worry. And what's behind worry is anxiety. Now, 5-6 years ago, there was a bunch of black kids committing suicide. And some of them were committing suicide by cop. They were challenging cops to shoot them. And a lot of mentally ill young people were ending up homeless and then incarcerated and then overdrugged. And this really hurt me because I know there's an association of black psychologists since Ted Huxtable was on TV. Okay, I know there's an association of black psychologists. So why this issue is not being addressed about suicide in our, we don't kill ourselves. They try to kill us every day. Why would we kill ourselves? That is wackadoodle. So it really annoyed me that black psychologists and psychotherapists and psychiatrists were not addressing the issue. Prevention is the only cure. So therefore, how do we prevent the disease of anger that gets us killed or causes us to kill family members? And
That's heavy, Doc. That's heavy.
And that starts with anxiety. Now, hold that thought. It's 1930. You're in Mississippi. Jim Crow is in full effect. Cross burnings in full effect. Lynchings in full effect. Tell me about some anxiety and tension and anger. Tell me about that. How did the black community in Mississippi, Alabama, Kentucky, and Tennessee, how did they deal with that?
Deacons of justice, armed and ready.
They went to church and they were hand clapping, foot stomping, and singing. So they were healing themselves with the hand clapping, the foot stomping, and the singing.
Wow.
That's what kept us together mentally when they were killing us every single day. Fast forward 30 years. Pimps in the pulpit. Half of the black population stops going to church.
Whoa.
Now, they still believed in Jesus, but they stopped going to church because they felt the pastor was a pimp.
Doc, this is getting deep, Doc. This is getting deep. You know, I'm feeling the urge, family, and I'm going to share this with you, that we have been missing the mark with social media because we haven't included the music of our roots with the lecture of the programs on social media. So, Doc, you're dropping the bomb tonight. Please continue.
So we stopped going to church. We stopped hand clapping, foot stomping, and singing. Now, in the 70s, there was a lot of feel-good music. There was R&B, the Four Tops, the Miracles, the Chantels, all the good music, the Stylistics. And then In the early 80s, the Hispanics came out, and there was a mix of Black and Hispanic hip hop and music. And the powers that be bought the buildings where the recording studios were and shut down the recording studios. And without access to record, we couldn't do anything. And then they started with gangster rap. And they started with the negativity, death, murder, kill, bitch, ho.
Yep.
Violence against women. And they would not promote any music that was positive.
And they wouldn't do that to Jewish people. They didn't do that to no Jewish people. You don't hear no Jewish music talking about kill a Jew.
You got a point, but I don't want to talk about them because we're responsible for what we do. No matter what they do, we're still responsible for what we do. Okay? We're not here to blame anybody. Ice-T came out with a record called Fuck the Police.
Yep, I remember. Oh, you know what? I got to put up. Yo, hold on, Doc. You know, we got to do the disclaimer because we're going in tonight. Show disclaimer, family. Show disclaimer. All right. Listen, let me put this here now. Show disclaimer. Okay.
The guests and the hosts.
Hold on. Let me just make sure I do this. All right. Okay. Medical disclaimer. Okay. We put up here also, you know, show is on your own risk. Okay. Because we going in and I like it. I like it. I'm glad you dropping it like this, Doc. I like it like that. You know, like he sung, oh, baby, I like it like that. Drop that truth, brother.
So the California State Police marched on the building that housed the record company that promoted Ice-T. And they wanted to censor the music. Ice-T was a guest on a TV show, a cop show that is still running to this day.
Yep. Even if he only says one word. They don't give him much to talk about. Yo, they let him say, yeah, and that's it.
But he blew up, and guess what happened to Fuck the Police? Disappeared. And then here comes NWA, and they started gangster rap in California, and the powers that be wanted that. Before, they were afraid of it. Now, they knew that they could influence young Black minds, and that started the school to prison pipeline because of the dirty Black music and not the positive Black music from the 70s and early 80s.
You know, Doc, this is so on time, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So all this is going back to your original question is, how can we create sound that heals? Okay, and that's where the humming, grandma's hands, grandma's hands. Now, I went and read the book, Grandma's Hands. It's written by a Black psychologist. His grandmother was a cotton picker. I did not know that there was pricks on the cotton plant. And when you pick the cotton ball, you get pricked. So her hands were damaged from picking cotton. I did not know that. So how did they soothe themselves at night from the pricks from the plant? They would soak them They would rub them and they would hum. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they would sit in the rocking chair on the front porch and they would rock and hum. And that's how they would soothe their anger. Why don't we know this? Why is this not common knowledge? So I bought this brother's book, Grandma's Hands, and he's chematized. Believe it or not, the brother's chematized. But he did not come up with a solution. All he did was describe the problem. So I was disappointed that he didn't come up with a solution. He hinted at it, which means that maybe he didn't really know. I don't think he knew, because if he really knew, he would have spelled it out better. So that pushed me to come out and say, we have the ability to heal ourselves with sound, the science of sound. And when you ask me about nitric oxide and humming, now we're going to jump into science just a little bit. What is the atmosphere? Is 20% oxygen and 79% nitrogen. Now, if there was somebody from another planet that landed on Earth, they would say, hey man, how's the nitrogen? And we'd look at each other and say, what the hell is nitrogen? Because we run on oxygen. How does that make sense? If 79% of air is nitrogen, how come we run on oxygen? Well, here's the trick. Nitrogen goes into the soil, and the nitrogen is broken down and taken up by roots into the leaves. So we have to eat our nitrogen. We don't breathe our nitrogen. This is very confusing. We have to eat our nitrogen. And that's why we have to eat a variety of leafy green vegetables to get the nitrogen. Nitric oxide is responsible for the smooth flowing and spreading of chi throughout the body. So if you don't get enough nitric oxide, then your blood coagulates. It doesn't flow. And when the blood coagulates, you get arthritis, you get neuritis, you get neuralgia, you get restless leg syndrome, you get neuropathy. All of this comes from lack of nitrogen in the blood, nitric oxide. Now, of course, being Americans, well, what's the best thing? What's the thing I can take? Well, they say beets. Okay, beets. Do I have to eat the beets, canned beets, fresh beets, boiled beets, roasted beets, chew beets, beet tablets? All of the above. All of them work. What about golden beets? Are you serious? Beets are red. Blood is red. Why would you eat golden beets? No. Why would you do that? So beets. I never liked beets as a kid. I still have to force myself to drink beet juice. I still don't like beets. But guess what? Once a month, I drink beet juice for 3 days. As much as I hate it, I force myself to drink it because I want to make sure I get all the nitric oxide to get the blood flow to my... Because as we age, there's a reduction of blood flow to this area, and beet juice will ensure that this keeps working. And it works for women too, because women go through menopause and they get dehydrated hoo-has. And when they get dehydrated hoo-has, their sex drive goes down and they're like, hold up, partner, not tonight, I'm irritated. But if they drank beet juice just like we need to drink beet juice, then we remain juicy in our 60s, 70s, and 80s. And there's no reason why we shouldn't be doing the wild thing in our 80s. We should be doing the wild thing in our 80s. And if you don't know how to create a positive relationship with somebody in your 40s, you're not going to have somebody in your life in your 80s.
Wow.
So that's a whole other conversation, how to create a heart opening, which goes back to singing, drumming, and dancing.
Doc, you diving in, brother. You diving in. We need this. Yo, because we had disconnected from the humming. Doc, I got a song. You want me to play it now or you want me to play it later?
Play the song.
Hold on.
Yes, play that song. Play that song.
Because we're gonna have church tonight, y'all. We're gonna bring down the humming and the flying saucers that we used to drive. Here it comes.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Special acknowledgement to the godfather of AI, a black man named Dr. David Blackwell. Take it, Doc.
David Blackwell. So about, I don't know, it was 4 or 5 weeks ago, you made a song. And I said, that's cool. Then you made another song. I said, that's cooler. And then you made a third song. And I'm like, dude, you're on a roll here. And that's what started this whole conversation about singing and humming and creating this internal vibration that activates the organs. So you are on point. I have the science to back it up. You have the spiritual connection to manifest it. And so we want to expand this, project this, because everybody sings in the shower. We all grew up on R&B, and there's certain songs we like, and when that song comes on, you get happy. That's my jam, you know. So you keep creating songs that we can hum to, and we need to, and we need more interaction face to face. This is great. I love this. But we need some place to go away to, whether it's Jamaica, I don't want to say Mississippi, but we need some place to go to so we can unravel, decolonize the mind, decolonize the words, decolonize the negative thought frames, and connect to our root energy. So I've been saying this for more than 10 years. If you chant /sing/hum, if you chant, you create that vibration that chases out negative thoughts. If you drum, if you drum your body like Bobby McFerrin, drum your liver, drum your spleen, drum your liver, drum your spleen. I've created all kinds of songs and dances over the last 25 years. but I've never mainstreamed it because I didn't want it to be co-opted. Because every time I saw somebody melanated do something really cool, white girls jumped on it and turned it into a business. Look what they did to yoga. White girls jumped on hip hop. White girls jumped on African dance. So I'm like, I'm not putting my stuff out there so it could be co-opted.
You know what, Doc? I'm going to say, let them try to jump on humming. See if they can hut this if they got polyrhythmic hum in them. I doubt it.
Polyrhythmic harmonies humming. Yes. Yes. Ecstatic. They already tried to jump on ecstatic dance. That's ecstatic dance. That's our thing. And they got, oh, it's the 5 rhythms and the this and the that. They've already claimed ecstatic dance. But whatever it is.
Our ancestors own humming. Don't get too bourgeoisie in all this new age technology that you let go of the drumming and the humming and the hugging. Go ahead, Doc.
Remember Richard Barty? More
hugging, less mugging.
More
hugging, less mugging. No hugging, less mugging.
Yeah,
we gotta hum and hug. Yeah. I hug our way out of this quagmire because, yo, I'm getting more people calling me asking for money. Help me, money. Help me, money. And we got to start doing our humming and our hugging and our... Go ahead, Doc. I'm backing up.
More hugging, less drugging. More drumming, less drugging. So what is a drug? A drug is a distraction from the pain that you feel when you're in a situation that you cannot control. And I say, when they burn a cross on your front lawn, when they lynch your friends, when they shoot into your neighbor's house, you cannot tell me whatever you're going through now is worse than that. And that was less than 50 years ago. So I don't have any sympathy for Black folks complaining and crying about their personal situation. I have zero sympathy. If they're not shooting you up, if they're not killing your neighbors, if they're not lynching your friends, I don't want to hear about your personal problems. I really don't. Doc. But I will give you a solution. I have the solution. And it's easy. Singing, humming, drumming, and dancing.
Yeah, I like that.
Singing, humming, drumming, and dancing. That's the solution.
Yes.
And that's how we activate the ancestors.
I want to acknowledge a master drummer here in Brooklyn. His name is Raphael. You probably know him, and some of the audience probably know him too. But when I sit next to him, when I was trying to learn the drumming, when he gets into the drumming, Dr. Love, family, he get to humming. And when my brothers, my family members from down south in Virginia, North Carolina get to really cooking in the kitchen, they get to humming. Go ahead, Doc. I don't think they're going to take away the humming because we own that.
It is what it is, my brother. It is what it is. So I have the Kemetic Qigong, which I've been endorsed by Smai Tai Wee and Brother Netter Ankh of the Kemetic Yoga Association. So he's endorsed my training program. We did one last year. We got another one coming up in June of this year, June 2nd. Excuse me, June 2nd through the 9th. We have another one coming up. And there are 18 deities. So everybody knows Asara, Set, and Heru. We know that trinity. We know Ptah, Sekhmet, and Imhotep. We know that trinity. But you may not know Atem, Shu, and Tefnut. You may not know Mut, Kansu, and Amun. And you may not know Knemu, Menhit, and Hekah. So there's 6 trinities, that's 18 deities, and I teach physical exercise that activate the spiritual principle within you. So we start with 6, and you learn those 6, then we learn 6 more, and then we learn 6 more. So it's 6 days, 5 nights training program, and then you get certified in Kemetic Qigong. But it doesn't stop there, because when we finish, then you have to do a 100-day practice of doing the 18 movements. And then, of course, we reinforce the Ankh activation. Now, the thing I'm most proud of is the eye of Heru. So there's 2 eyes. There's the eye of Ra that looks out, and there's the eye of Heru that looks in. The eye of Heru represents the limbic system. The limbic system is, I feel safe, I feel warm, I'm not hungry or thirsty, I'm virile or fertile, and I like myself. So that's how we create homeostasis, is through the limbic system. And by learning the spiritual principles, we can create that utilizing Ma'at and Tahuti, who are, like I said, directly above my head. So they're my guiding light for the temple of Ptah, Sekhmet, and Imhotep, which Baba Heru requested I put that together. So that's going on right now here in Florida. We got Sister Gachara from the Sekhmet in Atlanta, and we have Brother Mitu, who was also requested by Baba Heru to teach the Ptah training, also in Atlanta. So we're creating a national awareness of Kemetism. So there's Kemetology, which is the study of all things Kemet. And we got a bunch of people taking trips to Kemet, which is fine. But I teach Kemetism, which is specifically the spiritual practice. Now, technically, it's not a religion because there's no book or worship of a god. But if you practice the spiritual principles, then you're in alignment with divine source. And you have to claim your divinity every single day. And we do not worship the sun, we receive the light of the sun. Because when the sun is hidden by the clouds, the light still comes through. So we're not worshiping the sun, because not every day you can actually see the sun. But we definitely receive the light of the sun, and that is the shine. That's the shine of the sun. And we receive that power, and we can project that power of healing onto others. So when we receive the light, we can give the light. And that is why you have to be up at sunrise. You have to do the Ankh activation. You have to claim your divinity, and then you have to go into the world sharing your light to lift others. And that is the spiritual practice of Kemetic Qigong.
Man, Doc, you going down the wormhole, because I heard white folks say, if you go black, you never go back. That's white folks. Let me tell you, they said white because of the sun concentration of light. And when I was doing massages, there's a difference in the deep hue, folks, family. You could feel the energy rising up, and that's okay. But when I put magnets on our lighter brothers and sisters, yo, their magnetism goes up. So I want to know does it feel to be in South Florida with all that sunshine? Because we've been freezing up here.
Okay, this is of critical importance. 50% of the entire population of the United States lives in the original 13 colonies, from Delaware to Maine. They do not get the full complement of the sun, which is why everybody's saying you got to take vitamin D3. My studies show that you only need 10 days of direct sunlight for 1 hour to absorb all the vitamin D you need. So 10 out of 30 days. So if you get 10 hours of sunlight in 30 days, you don't need to take vitamin D3. Just let that sink in. Now, we are melanated to protect us from the sun, not because of the sun. So if you go to any country and say, why are black people black? They're going to say, oh, because of the sun. They got sunburn. This is a common belief that is completely wackadoodle. We are melanated to protect us from the sun, not because we got burned. Okay? Now, there are 11 deserts in the world. Only 3 of them are in Africa. There's 8 deserts outside of the United States where there's no dark-skinned people. So we don't read, we don't research, we are not scientists, so we cannot refute whatever they come up with. They come up with this nonsense about why black people are black and why white people are white. And they're all wrong, 100% wrong, not even close. But because I do the research and I double check and triple check and cross-reference, I can say with certainty it's because we don't want to get burned by the sun because we lived outdoors. So it was a protection. They were 30 degrees north of the equator and 30 degrees south of the equator, which means they didn't get the full sun, so they didn't need the melanin. They developed an antibody which killed their melanin. They were born with the same melanin that we have, but they have an antibody that kills it. Whoa. And I don't want to go off on a tangent.
I got something to say. Doc,
Please.
This is something different. You know, family, have you ever looked, Doc, you ever look at, they show the microscope of marijuana, microscope image of marijuana under a microscope. It's like lollipops of all the most beautiful colors. And I'll be like, no wonder why people get happy when they be smoking weed. I'm not telling y'all to smoke weed now. And I remember looking at the skin of my grandma as a child and as an adult, looking at family and also friends, sister friends that have dark skin. When you look close up, take your glasses off and look close, I see rainbows. I see all these rainbow shimmers on the skin. Now, from a distance, it looked like, okay, that looked like brown, dark brown, or black. But when you look close, it's rich, prismatic rainbow reflections. And I'll be like, wow, you know, it looks like weed under a microscope. I just want to say that.
It absolutely does. And we have a cannabis expert listening to us. I don't know if you've been seeing who's listening, but we have a cannabis expert Dr. Denise, Dr. V, because you usually see who's responding, who's posting in the comments. Can you look in the comments and see if
Doc,
there's
you got a packed house, man. There's a bunch of folks up in here.
Okay. Well, we should put my $ Doc Love 49 up there if anybody
Okay,
wants.
text it to me in the private chat because I got a theory. Oh, you know what? Tell me what it is. Okay, hold on. Somebody just commented. Somebody said I work with green gold magic. What's green gold magic?
That's cannabis. Green gold is cannabis.
See, I remember Panamanian gold,
Panama
Sesamalia.
red, Colombian gold. Yeah.
So you know what? I wonder, Doc, family. I wonder. While you get ready to tell me what, is there a connection between the rainbow hues of melanin and, depending on concentration, the rainbow of rhythmic song, drum, and dance? Is there a connection with the rainbow that shimmers, Doc?
Absolutely. They just discovered that they can put a device onto a plant, and the plant gives off vibrations, which is translated as music. I've seen this 2 different times. They just plug onto a plant and it goes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now here's something else about cannabis. Is there's something called the cannabinoid system in the human body. And the cannabinoid system is also based on musical notes.
Whoa.
Dude, there's so much. I hope the sister's listening so she can chime in, because she's doing the research. She's doing databases with different populations. But she's amazing. She's absolutely amazing. She's a professor at UM. And she's having an event April 11th. And it's a free event, but y'all need to be
Doc,
y'all need to be there. Yes.
There's somebody named Dr. Denise said Ashe. Is that who you're talking about?
That's exactly who I'm talking about.
Hey, Dr. Denise. Now, what'd you say she's about?
She is a cannabinoid researcher.
Ooh, we got to have her come on the show.
You got to have her come on the show. Absolutely.
Yo, Dr. Denise, we got to have you on the show. Look at cannabis under a microscope. Okay, here we go. I never did this before on the show. Look at this. Beautiful. Oh. Let me put it back. Look at all those lollipops up under the cannabis. Now, what happens, Doc, if we ask microscope under melanin skin? Ooh, I wonder what that would look like. Let's say black skin under microscope. Let's see if they come up with the colors.
Oh, you're doing a Google search or a chat GPT?
Yeah. Because I seen rainbows when I look, because I'm nearsighted. But it's not showing too many pictures. Let me see if I have find images. Hold on. Because I don't see nothing at present because, you know, I'm trying to juggle everything. But on the skin surface, I be seeing rainbows. And this is like a lot of different rainbows. Maybe one day I'll take a picture. You know, but coming back, let me get rid of that. Let me move this out the way. Okay, Doc, full screen. All right, you tell me what your link is so I can add it.
Okay, so my Cash App is $ Doc Love 49.
Okay. Cash App is $. What's next?
DOCLOVE 49.
Doc Love. Anything else? Any numbers?
49.
Oh, 49.
DOCLOVE 49.
Okay. And I'm going to tell you something. I could feel, family, you let me know if you can feel the energy coming from Dr. Love as he's talking. Can you feel his passion? Because, brother, it's coming through the screen. And your energy is like youthful. And I want you to share with us over 25 how you maintain this youthful projection in your aura that I feel it all the way through this digital screen here. What you working with, Doc?
Well, at the ripe old age of 33, okay, so when I was 32, I was a competitive bicycler. I was competing in 50-mile bike races. They're called criterions. And there was an accident, and 11 of us went down. We were riding front wheel to back wheel, and we all went down. My right leg, my right tibia was torn open, and I could see my bones. My flesh was ripped from my bone, and there was no pain. And it took about 3 minutes before I started bleeding. And so when the medics got there, they said, "You're in shock." And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I am in shock because I don't feel anything. And I'm afraid to stand up because I don't think I'll be able to walk." So I was very freaked out. So it took me a year just to be able to move the way I felt comfortable. And I discovered Qigong, and Qigong helped me rehab from that bike injury. And I'll never forget, 6 months in, I was doing standing meditation, and I felt myself dissolve into the universe. And my body just separated into like thousands of molecules. And then I noticed everybody was staring at me, and I was like, whoa. And I came back into my body, and I heard a distinct pop, and my right foot, my right shoe filled up with water.
Wow.
And the pain was gone in my leg. And I was able to run and bike after that. So that was the first Qigong miracle that made me, I'm like, I'm doing this.
Wow.
So that was pretty dramatic. So Master Lee said, "You'll be immortal." He said, "If you do Qigong every day for 20 years, you'll become immortal." And I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. And so after doing it for 20 years, I thought I was going to feel different. And I was like, well, it's 20 years. Nothing's happened. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. And the 4th month, I felt like Superman. I felt like I could leap tall buildings. I could walk out in the middle of traffic and stop cars. I mean, I really felt invincible. So for about 6 months, I felt invincible. And then it dawned on me, the way I felt is the way everybody should feel all the time. I was not above. We were down here, and I just got back to normal. So the way I feel and the way I look and the way I move and the way I sound is the way everybody should sound. I'm not better than anybody. I just work at it harder than anybody. So I'm the poster boy for immortality. You got to do what I do, and you can get to where I am. Okay? I'm going to tell this last story and then I'm going to shut up. Age 55, this guy in China, he was the harbor master in Beijing. He was corrupt. He was alcohol snorting, doing all the wrong things. And then he had a triple bypass. He had a heart attack. And as soon as he got out of surgery, he said to the doctor, "How soon can I get back to work?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't know. It could be a year or two to recover." And he said, "Well, what can I do to speed up the process?" And the doc said, "Tai Chi." And the harbor master went ballistic. "Tai Chi? You mean the stuff those old people do in the villages with the slow moving? You're crazy. I'm never going to do that. What else you got?" And the doctor just shook his head, Tai Chi, and walked away. 20 years later, that guy became the national grand champion of Tai Chi sword in China.
Wow.
And he didn't start till he was 55.
Wow.
So you ask me, I'm telling you, just do what I do, and 20 years from now, you will be immortal.
Doc, you got it, because as quiet as it's kept, a lot of our health advocates be flopping and dropping into the afterlife, to the much of the surprise, of everybody. And you done tapped into something with this breath, because it's coming out of the screen. Please continue.
Okay, Wolde Kite dropped dead at 59.
Who?
John Harris. Wolde Kite, my mentor, dropped dead at 59. He had some weird kidney disease that he picked up traveling through India. John Harris dropped dead. He was Harlem Health. He ran Harlem Health. His wife was the yoga teacher and the colon therapist, and he ran fasting programs. And he died of diabetes. What? And then there was a brother in New Jersey who was a shaman. He was African to the max. He dies of diabetes at 62.
Yep.
And I'm like, these are the people that I looked up to, and they didn't even make it to 65.
Wow.
These are the healers that I looked up to. They did not make it to 65. So I stopped counting, and I said, I just have to do what I have to do. If I take a weekend off, if I take 2 days off, the third day I feel like crap. So I do Qigong 6 days a week. I don't take 2 days off. I take 1 day off. I do Qigong 6 days a week. I can't afford to. You cannot afford to have a negative thought. You cannot afford to get sick in today's system. Avoid doctors. Avoid doctors. Learn the acupuncture meridians. Learn Egyptian medicine. Learn Kemetic medicine. The course is already made. I designed the course like 2019. So the curriculum is already done. You just have to enroll. I thought I had to have like a class. Now I can just, whenever you're ready, we can pull the trigger and you can learn one-on-one. 3/4 of the class is online. The last quarter is in person, and we do that with 3 retreats, 3 7-day intensives. So you have no excuse. And the reason I want you to learn this is because at some point, I won't be here. And you are going to have to be me. and you're going to have to teach somebody else. So that's what I want to teach you now, so that you can teach others when I'm on Mount Kilimanjaro.
I noticed with you, Doc, you laugh a lot. I noticed you laugh a lot, and you have this childlike energy and passion. And you remind me of an ET spirit using your body like a balloon in play, like gods and goddesses at play. And I wonder if there's a connection between laughter and nitric oxide, which is a cell regenerator, because you definitely be laughing a lot. I'm putting you the whole screen now. Go ahead.
I laugh because life is absurd and people speak without thinking. And they just say the first thing that comes to their mind, and they want to respond instead of having a thoughtful reflection of what the conversation is about. So my father taught me critical thinking skills. And he said, if you have nothing to add, don't talk. And when you know people are talking nonsense, definitely keep your mouth shut, because somebody listening won't be able to tell the difference.
Wow.
So when I hear people talking smack, I'm like, excuse me, I have to go. Hello from Belize, Chai Garden, Ashe. Yeah, I went to Belize like 4 times to teach. So I got Blue Dragons in Belize. Yeah, it's time to go back to Belize. I've been to Aruba 4 times to teach Qigong. I've done a lot of teaching, and I have 16 masters under me, and I have 4 more that are going to pop out pretty soon. So I'm going to have 20. I will have trained 20 Qigong masters underneath me, and I would like to take that to 100. So
You're going to do it. You ain't going nowhere, Doc. You laughing through time itself. You laughing through time, man.
There's no such thing as time. There is no beginning. There is no end.
Okay, we got a bunch of comments in here. Somebody asked a question. Let me see if I can.
Let's take some questions.
Yeah, family, go ahead. Dr. Love, does African drumming heal the same way?
Absolutely. The drum heals the first 3 chakras. So the drumming, the vibration goes into the heart. So the fact of drumming heals the heart, and then the vibration goes into the belly and it goes into the groin. So drumming definitely is healing. And I have 20-page research paper to show that drumming heals the internal organs and the nervous system and the skeletal system. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I want to make a question and comment. I look at a drum, especially a djembe, and it looks like a woman with a flat top, skin on top. So naturally, I lift the djembe up and look inside of it, and it looks like a canal. Now,
it looks like a what? A canal?
Yeah, it's a hole. It's open it, and then it closes up like a cervix, and then it opens up to the top. So my question is, how come some male drummers have an issue with female drummers?
Okay, that's a very easy answer. Women are playful by nature. Men are serious by nature. So when women are learning drumming from a serious male, they want to like poke him, and they don't appreciate that. So that's why they don't like female drummers. Not that they don't like female drummers, it's the nature of women to attack men's egos. Not attack, but to point out men's egos. And if I'm the drum teacher, I don't want you pointing out my ego. So there's going to be a conflict in the style.
All right. That's a good answer. Very wise words. You choose with a laugh. Now, K. Smith asks, do you feel yoga has the same benefits as Qi Kong?
Absolutely not. Okay.
Mm.
So yoga is union of mind and body. Yoga is a spiritual practice. What we know about yoga is how it's practiced in the United States. So how it's done here is not connected to Qigong at all. Now, if we lived in another country like India or Indonesia or Sri Lanka or even Eritrea, and they were doing yoga as union of mind and body as a spiritual practice, you might be able to make a link with Qigong. But the way it's practiced in the United States, the way it's understood in the United States, it's not anywhere as good as Qigong.
Thank you for that answer. Now, I got a question to ask you, Doc. What's the difference in the energy of the sun in Florida, Miami, versus the sun up here in New York City?
Okay, so you have to look at a map, and you have to look at the lines of longitude and latitude. Okay, so if memory serves me, I'm trying to remember. I think there's the 38th parallel, 39th parallel, 40th parallel. So there's lines, and when you go to like Jacksonville, Florida, to Miami, Florida, there is a particular geographical energetic field. I did all this research years ago, so my memory is trying to pull it up. So I want to say 38th parallel, but anyway, it goes all the way around the world.
You're right. You're right. Special acknowledgement to Shango in South Florida. Shango and Gael, because he's always talking about Hotep, 38th parallel. He always says that. You're right.
Okay.
And also acknowledging a beautiful goddess named Francesca Abbey. She said, I never learned I'm a female African percussionist. I never learned African drumming from any male. I've been playing since I was a baby.
That's great. There's nothing wrong with a female percussionist. It's just that there are some African drum teachers don't like that. Okay. So my drum teacher, oh my God, her name just went right out of my head. She was the percussionist for The Lion King, the Broadway show, for like 15 years.
Wow.
So she went to is it Ghana? Yeah, she went to Ghana every year for 3 years and recorded the drumming and the balafon. She recorded it, went home, practiced it diligently, came back after 3 years, went to the head teacher and said, can I get a private audience and play for you? And he was like, oh, okay. And she performed all the stuff that he had taught her over those 3 years.
Wow.
And he was in amazement. So he called in his senior students and said, play it again for them. And she played for them. And they like, this is very unusual, but we're going to allow you to perform with us. So they broke
Wow.
their protocol because she practiced on her own. So again, it's who the teacher is. Okay. There's no law that says, women can't play drums or shouldn't perform in public. There's no law against that. Okay. It's
Wow.
just certain populations don't appreciate that. So who's from Sosua?
Sosua, Dominican Republic is listening to you.
Sosua. How are you? Oh no, Marjorie. Marjorie Lara. Okay, so when are you going to invite me to Dominican Republic to teach Qigong? Oh, Dr. Shaka. Yes, we also did Barbados. Thank you. It's
Yeah,
time to
man,
do Barbados.
you got a global audience tonight, Doc. Did I put this up yet?
And Dr. Shaka is also a musician, percussionist, and DJ going back to Africa, Africa Mambata. And but you should have him on the show at another time. Okay, Marjorie, I was supposed to have surgery on my lower spine. I refused, found the shiatsu, masseuse, and acupuncture to help me. 9 years now, pain-free. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. Everyone should do that. Everyone should find a masseuse and acupuncture and not have surgery.
You know what? You got such a diverse audience, man. Okay, Sekhmet says, I do Chai Chi in the park, started doing it in Brooklyn. Sekhmet, fire goddess. Somebody else said, this is so true. Notice a lot of the Rastafarian elders back home are passing from cancers. Never used to be. Doc, do you smoke the weed that they sell out here on the corner? I'm being, facetious.
I do not smoke cannabis. I infuse cannabis. So there's a difference because I don't want to damage my lungs with burning carbon. Okay. But I do THC, CBD. So like I infuse cannabis. I think it's a very powerful medicine, but smoking it is not for me.
You got somebody said they were. You got somebody says, hold on a second, let me find it. Somebody said they're a grandmaster. He's my teacher, Sifu Amuliaku. He is my teacher from Bermuda.
That's right. He's my number one student in Bermuda, and he's one of the reasons why I'm a grandmaster because he has students underneath him.
Yeah, because he said, I'm here also, grandmaster. Here he is. Give an acknowledgement. Let me see what else. Somebody said, come on down. I'm just scrolling randomly, family. So forgive me if I don't put up everything. Let me see. Please don't flood. This is okay. Dominican. Okay, hold on. Just scrolling real quick. Let me see what else. Dr. Love is telling the truth, people. I took his course for a year. I'm going to rejoin soon, Doc. Four corners, everything. King, somebody saw King said, sign me up. Another person said, basic tips for youth and growth. They're calling you a powder ranger. All right, that's interesting. All right, so that's powerful. Other people saying amazing. They're feeling your passion. Doc, this was great, man. This is great. This is a great show, bro. You can come back anytime. Somebody said, you said my name perfectly, my brother. Somebody else says, I did acupuncture for 1 month, once a week, for 1 hour from acupuncture doctor. However, he didn't tell me the name of the medicine nor lifestyle changes for this lower abdomen pain.
Yeah, that's a shame because acupuncture is only one tool in my medicine bag. I have 12 tools. So I have
Oh,
11 tools that are not acupuncture. And if you don't include herbs, lifestyle, breathing, meditation, and fasting, if you don't include those other 5 things, then your acupuncture is not going to be as effective.
how
Brian.
important, Doc, how important forgiveness is to cellular youthfulness? How important is it to forgive memories?
Okay, this is a very sensitive subject. Okay. You don't have to forgive other people. You have to forgive yourself for putting you in a situation where you felt you were harmed.
Wow. That's very
People
psychedelic of you.
people act in their own self-interest. A lot of people are not intentionally harming you. They're just ignorant of their behavior. They're not self-aware. So they may say something or do something. Their behavior may be harmful to you. Maybe it was intentional, maybe it wasn't intentional. But the blame requires the forgiveness. But if there's no blame, then there's no need to forgive anyone. You just have to forgive yourself for putting yourself in that situation.
Yeah. That's a nice answer. Doc, you got your Cash App up here. I want to play one more song before you space from this place. Is that okay? And this
Please,
is
please.
humming.
Yeah, play the first one that I heard, because that's the one that got me.
The first one? I got another. Oh, yeah, okay. Let me pull it up. Hold on, let me pull it up.
Because you're so creative, Hunk. You just
give God the glory.
First song I heard, I'm like, was that you? And you're like, yeah, that was me.
You know, because I think Doc and family, the revolution is going to be through music.
Oh yeah, they know that. We don't know that, but they know that.
Ah. Okay.
That's why they're trying to control our access to making music, not making music, but selling music.
Yeah. And we gotta grab music by, even if we gotta use AI, we gotta take back our music. So that's why I play this Southern style humming, because this is what our DNA is starving for.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. Okay, how you like that, Doc family?
I loved it. I loved it, man. It was just
Good thanks. Yo, Doc, it's a revolution of humming, hugging, and drumming. That reminds me, as you said, the brother George. What was his name? More hugging, less mugging. More hugging, less mugging.
Richard Barty.
Richard Barty. God bless your spirit for eternity. Hugging, drumming, and more. Okay, hold it. What is it? Humming, hugging, and drumming. I'm trying to memorize. You know,
He said more hugging, less mugging, more drumming, less drugging.
ooh, excellent. I'm gonna tell you. There's something about your presentation. I'm gonna tell family. Tell me if it's true. But listening to Dr. George Love, it feels like a form of high, a form of a natural altered state, semi-trans mission through the elements of computer technology. It's something that you projected. It's healing energy, but it's like a comedy show at the same time. And somebody's laughing like they agree. So I want to thank you, Doc. You got to come back again. And we got to get you on Shaka Zulu because I know you got a message. Brother Shaka Zulu he's a genius Jedi.
He's a ninja. He's a ninja warrior. He talks softly and carries a big stick.
Yeah, so I want to thank everybody. Oh, you know what? We're going to go out with one song. Doc, what's your closing comments? What kind of advice you want to give to young children?
Young children.
Yeah, the children.
The children. Okay.
If you was a young man, if you wanted to talk to the younger you at 20, what would you say?
You know, it's a different world. It's a different world. They're not listening. They have tools. They grew up with tools we didn't have. So they have a heightened awareness that we lacked. But their heightened electromagnetic awareness prevents them from understanding the basics. Okay? So my 40-year-old son says, I don't want to work that hard. I don't want to struggle. I watched you struggle, Dad. I just want a paycheck. And I just want to pull my hair out and say I failed as a father. Because struggle is what made us who we are. Okay? I've met several brothers. I've talked to several brothers recently who became successful and wanted to give their kids everything, but the kids didn't appreciate it because they didn't have to go through the struggle to get it. So we had to work for the car. We had to work to earn the skill set. We had to work to sell the skill set. We had to figure out how to scale. We had to figure out how to connect with people on different levels. We had to learn, we had to figure this out. We didn't take an internet course. We didn't take an online course. We had to figure this stuff out. And it is only when you self-generate It gives you the confidence that you can overcome the obstacle. But if everything is presented to you, here's a car, son, here's a job, here's a credit card with a 5,000 limit on it, here's new clothes, here's a vacation. You know, if somebody's always giving you things, then there's no appreciation for it. So I can't tell a 20-year-old today, I'm thankful my father was as hard on me as he was. I complained bitterly until I was 25 years old about how mean my old man was. And then the realization came, he made me strong by being hard on me. If he was like, oh, son, I'm taking you, son, I'm going to give you a car, then I wouldn't have valued it. It's because I put myself through college, because I decided if I didn't travel, I wasn't going to learn anything. I grew up in West Philly, and 5 of my childhood friends died before they were 21 from drug or gang violence. 5. And I was like, I'm not doing drugs, and I'm not going to be involved in a gang, so I better get out of West Philly. So I took myself to Europe, and I spent time outside of the country, and I met the coolest Black folks in Africa, in France, in England, in Scandinavia. I met cool Black folks outside the United States that I never would have met if I didn't leave. So it is only by leaving the comfort zone that you can gain knowledge about the rest of the world. I met people in Brooklyn, New York, who had never left Brooklyn. I met people in Miami, Florida, who have never left Miami. The reason I am the way I am is because I've been to 28 foreign countries and I paid my own way. So the only way we can go up is out. You have to get out of your comfort zone. One of my friends said, you became who you were in the face of no support from your family, your blood family, or your friends. You are self-generated. You are self-realized. They said that about me. I was just putting one foot in front of the other. I just kept on moving. I kept on breathing. But somebody observed me and said, you are self-realized. Because I wanted more than what I was being presented with. I knew there was something, I didn't know what it was, but I knew I ain't gonna find it here, because all this here is gang violence and drugs. There's gotta be something different. I'm getting out of here.
I like that. I like that. And I want to say to everybody that if you base people's actions on the reflection of their skin, take some ayahuasca and go within, or take some shrooms, because plants see through the eyes of color, the aura. So it don't matter if you're wearing what clothing you have, what dialect you may speak. Plants look at the colors of your heart. And that's what we really have to look at. I thank my Jewish friends from childhood, from various places and spaces. And the thing I learned most, Dr. Love and family, is that the preconceived notion of social engineering, like a color caste system, is for division, for rulership over the masses. So we gotta sometimes, as my big brother Baba Cuz says, or Wolowo, we gotta crack your head so you can free yourself to be yourself. So um, I want to thank everybody for life, and whether it was bittersweet or ice cream or chocolate or strawberry or almond pecan, this life is fascinating journey. Now, I don't know what I'm saying, but thank you anyway. This is a great show. Oh, we're gonna wrap it up, Doc. We're gonna wrap it up with this song. I want to
Okay.
invite you to come back anytime. We're gonna close out like we have in church tonight. And tell me how you like
Okay.
this song, Doc. This is one for you. This is about humming too. Because you're gonna family, you gotta study with Doc so you know how to breathe, hum, and move. Breathe, hum, and move. Breathe, hum, and move. Listen to this, family. You want to learn? Because I'm proud of Dr. Love. I want to be like him when I grow up. Because he's 7 years old, and you can tell. How important is the heart, Doc?
The heart is a field, but it includes the lungs. The heart is not separate from the lungs. The heart and the lung, you have two lungs with the heart in the middle. So the heart and the lungs is the field. And then we have another field that goes this way. So it's not the heart. It's the heart lung in conjunction with the the halo. There's so much symbolism. That's why you got to take the course. Because when I break down the symbol, the WAS symbol, W-A-S, the WAS symbol, is the head of a giraffe, which is the tallest animal, which is closest to God. But at the bottom, there's a fork that fits into the earth. So the WAS symbol represents heaven and earth. And whoever carries that has a certain understanding. And that's a whole course.
Wow.
And then the Eye of Heru, so the Ankh, the Eye of Heru, and the Was symbol. Because when you carry the Was, that means you understand. And then don't get me into the Kepra, which is the symbol of transformation that brings out the sun every day. And then don't get me started on the backbone of Osiris and the 4 exercises to strengthen your spine while you're sleeping. So when you go to sleep, you can go to Osiris for guidance.
Wow. Man, that's some get high there, Doc.
That's another. Next time we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Imhotep sleep ritual, where we can connect to Osiris and Amun.
Wow.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
We be up here having fun, family. Listen, like, subscribe, share, tap into Doc's classes, because you got to think 10, 20 years from now, are you investing your breath so that you can be the blissful breath, humming, hugging, drumming in 20 years like Dr. Love is at the beach with a bonfire and beautiful goddesses with shadows silhouetting on the sand beaches? This is life. That look like you glowing, Doc.
Yep.
Getting younger. For better skies in our hearts and minds, family. Doc, that was great. Okay, y'all. See y'all on the next show. Night, night. That's all I got to say. Doc, tell us, make it. Say that again. What drumming, hugging, humming? Did I say it right?
Humming, drumming, dancing.
Wow.
Humming, drumming, dancing.
Ashe. On that, we closing out of here tonight. See y'all soon.